Hi everybody, welcome back. This week is Parshat Shemini. I don't know how many of you have ever attended an opening day at a baseball season, but it's very exciting. The stadium is filled with all kinds of energy. The players are taking the field. But imagine, as the players take the field, the mound stays empty. And everybody's waiting for the pitcher to come out. And everybody looks to the dugout and there's the pitcher and he's not moving. And the manager goes up to the pitcher and he says, "What are you waiting for?" And the pitcher says, I can't do this. And the manager looks at him and says, "What are you talking about? This is what you trained your whole life for. It's what you had spring training for. You can do it. Get out there." Well, that's very much what happens in this week's Parsha. We have the dedication of the Mishkan, God's house in the wilderness. And the dedication ceremony, Aaron HaKohen, Aaron the high priest, is to offer some sacrifices to start the dedication process. But he freezes. And Moshe sees this and he says, "Aaron, it's time to go. This is what you were created for." And Moshe says 3 words. Moshe says, "Karab al mizbeach," get close to the altar. And Rashi fills in the blanks. Aaron was nervous. He was afraid. He said, "I'm not the worthy guy. I chased away God's presence with making the golden calf. And now you're telling me I'm the one who's supposed to bring God's presence into the camp?" And Moshe says, precisely, that's exactly what you were created for. There's a Gemara in Yuma 43b that tells us the one who is most fit to bring atonement is for the one who caused the sin. But I still want to know, what was it about Moshe's words that motivated Aaron to leave the dugout and start the dedication process? Rabbi Sachs points out in his last published book that Moshe had a similar experience, where God talks to Moshe for 7 days to convince him, go down to Egypt and tell Paro, let the Jewish people go. And Moshe argues and says, "God, you got the wrong guy." And God says, "I beg to differ. You got the right guy." Eventually, the last argument that God puts forth, that Moshe acquiesces to, Aaron, your brother, will join you. When Moshe hears that, he picks up and he goes down to Egypt. Moshe says to Aaron, "Aaron, I know what it's like. This is what God said. I beg to differ. God begs to differ. You're the right guy." And I wonder, when it comes to facing one's fears, when someone can share their experience of what they went through, that may serve as a place of strength. And perhaps that's what Aaron heard. I think it's very easy to tell people to face their fears. But it's much easier when we have someone who can give us the encouragement and share their own experiences. And that's what brings God's presence, and that's what moves Aaron forward. So in life, when you're facing a challenge, surround yourself with people. Seek out people who've had similar challenges. Hopefully these are people that will support you, have faith in you, and maybe even love you. Moshe and Aaron, their love and respect for each other ran very deep. And because of that, Aaron takes the mound and opens up the Mishkan for the Jewish people. If you like what you hear, pass it on. Thanks as always for listening. Shabbat Shalom.